I'm going to show you 4 really simple things you can do to your Kajabi website for SEO. So the first one you might already know, but the other 3 you probably don't. So the sample page I'm using here, I'll just row to the right of any of your pages, click the 3 dots, and we're going to go to Edit Details. And over here you can see when you roll down, there's SEO and sharing information right here. So you want to put in not just anything here. You really need to do some research, maybe using ChatGPT, perhaps copying all the text in your page, pasting it to ChatGPT and asking, I'm trying to create SEO information for this page. I would like a title that are 60 characters or less, and help me, improve my SEO by giving me a good title. It'll give you something there. And then over here, you can say, next, let's do a page description. And I like it to be 160 characters or less, and then paste that in here. Now it does say you can go up to 300 characters, but the thing is that when you Google something and you show up in search, it actually cuts it off after 160 characters or so. So you want to keep it right around there. I mean, going to 300 isn't doing a whole lot for you. So you want to make what it says here, make sure it makes sense, but you want to use some keywords that perhaps people may be using when they're typing things in to find you. That is what you want to show up right here. So you want to fill this in first and get your 1280 by 720 thumbnail here for the page, and make sure show page and search results is turned on for most of your pages. The pages you don't want that to show up in are things like thank you pages, or maybe your privacy policy, things like that. And do that for every single landing page. And as far as your website in general, that actually is located over here under settings. And you'll come to site details, click there. And when you roll down, at the bottom here is where you can fill out SEO and sharing for your website overall. So these are all the pages. You know how you have website pages and you have landing pages? This will be for all the website pages you have. And then your landing pages will have they'll have their own SEO area. So you'll fill this in just like that. And then next, we're going to go back to that landing page we were on. And I'll show you a couple other things you can do to improve SEO. So images, we'll work on those next. So upload the image in here. You want to rename it. So if you can rename it something using those keywords. So kind of like before you start doing this SEO stuff, you want to think about maybe half dozen keyword phrases that you want to be known for. And making them too broad is just going to lump you in the category of getting lost. So the more specific you can make it, the better. So for example, if you only have like a particular service area, you might mention that as part of your keyword phrase. So ChatGPT again can help you with coming up with keyword phrases that'll work for you. And you want to, when you're giving it instructions, you want to make sure to make that they aren't too broad. You want to make them really niche down as far as possible so you can really capture your ideal buyer. So you want to rename something. Let's say I offer senior grief counseling. This is a picture for that. I would rename it Senior Grief Counseling for, and then maybe for teachers, or you want to really narrow down who I'm helping. Rename that, upload it, and after you upload it, you see when you click on the picture, if you roll down a little bit, there's alt text, and that's where you can really add that description again. So I'm going to say, grief counseling for seniors, or maybe teachers, or whatever you want to do that's your focus. So you want to type that in, save that. You want to do that for every single picture on your website. Ideally, your speed load, you want to use JPEG over PNG if you plan on downloading from Canva or whatever other place. You want to choose JPEG over PNG because JPEG will make the speed load a little faster, and that'll also help with your SEO. So the last thing you want to do is come in and look at the hierarchy of your page. So you know how you can have different sizes of heading sizes in here? So when I go back, and under settings here, style guide, and you roll down, and you can see H1, H2, H3. That is talking about the size of things. So when I click here, you can see this is H1, and I have the headline here, and it's H2. And then I have the body here, and it's just paragraph size. So you can have different sizes of headings, and that actually is not just about the size of the font. It's actually also how Google reads your website. So the first thing they want to see on a page is something H1. So it knows that this is the subject of this page. And then secondly, it goes down to see what H2 is and reads that. So each one of your sections could have an H2 header and then body information there. But you don't really want to have a page with a whole bunch of H1s on the whole page, because then it'll confuse Google and they're like, what are you doing on this page? We're not sure. So you want to make it sort of an easy read for them by giving one H1, one H2, and then perhaps each one of your sections starts with an H2 and then go from there. And that's about it as far as super simple beginner things that you can probably do yourself without hiring somebody. And beyond that, it gets a little more technical, but these things you could do for yourself. If you need any other help, I'm at digitalcoursefreelancer.com. I do one-to-one tutorials over Zoom. Also offer do-it-for-me services.